Hey, my name is Margaret Wong, and we are here to explain to you about immigration law.
Song, what is asylum?
Asylum is a way to get work permits and green cards based on fear to go back to home country. It has to be a subjective fear and not an objective fear. And there are five grounds for asylum. You have to have a fear of religion, of race, nationality, political opinion, and member of a social group.
So the next question is, when can I apply for asylum?
You have to apply within 1 year of entry. So, what does 1 year mean? If I came in undocumented and came in through the borders, 1 year starts from the day you enter. The 1 year doesn't apply to people who came legally because, for example, I came to America on a tourist visa, I'm allowed 6 months. So the test is after my visa expired that 6 months, what's reasonable time and what's the change of country condition that you could apply later than that 6 months. So after that, if you already have deportation, you want to do a motion to reopen, it has to be based on change of country condition. It could not be based on change of personal condition.
Okay. So the next question is, if I came here illegally and I've been here over a year, can I still apply for asylum?
Absolutely, yes. If there's a change of country condition. So, for example, when I came, Venezuela was very, very good. And now it's becoming such a horrible, horrible place. Can I apply now? Absolutely, yes.
What is the process like and how long does it take?
Okay. Under different administrations in our government, the process is different. Under the past presidents, it's always first in, first out. Under President Trump, it's last in, first out. What does that mean? That means that under Trump, I filed asylum yesterday. I'll be the first one to be called in for the interview in the district office. Right now, the timing is you will be called for an interview anywhere between 3 weeks to 2 months. Under past presidents, because it's first in, first out, you have to wait for sometimes 1 or 2 or 3 years to call for an interview.
Can I apply with my family?
Yes, the question then is how do you apply? You can always apply with your family. If you remember, asylum is a process when you are in America, you apply for the 589. On the question, they will ask, is your spouse in America? And if so, do you want to include him in this application? If you say yes, then the spouse is included. But if you get a grant, the spouse have also an independent grant, and the card is called 27. You as a direct principal alien, you have a 26. Another example, if my spouse and young children under 21 are back home in another country, I cannot say yes because they're not in America. But if you have a real marriage certificate and that marriage is not just a church wedding, but is registered with the country as a legal and bona fide marriage, then if I win the asylum, I can bring my spouse and young children to America. Then the form you want to do after you got a final grant, after your fingerprint cleared, is called 730. After the family comes, so let's an example. My child, when I file my asylum, is 19 years old, but when I get the final grant, he's 23. He could still come because it's the age at time of the filing, not age at time of the grant.
So the next question is, what happens if I don't go to my hearing?
And that's a major problem because a lot of people, especially new ones, when they just came to America, rumor is that I'm scared I'll be deported. So the issue then becomes you have to go to the hearing because it's very difficult. If you don't go to the hearing, you have deportation, you need a motion to reopen. There are two types of final order or final removal order. One is a deportation order because I showed up and I asked for final removal or voluntary departure. The other type is what we call in absentia final order. Anytime you have a final order, immigration have the right to pick you up when on your way to work, on your way driving the kid to school. So you have to go to the hearing and have to go to all the master calendar and the IHs.
So question is, do I need an interpreter for when I show up to my interview or for my court appearances?
That's a very good question. Interview takes place in district offices with USCIS local. So for example, Ohio, a lot of us, we have to fly to Chicago for the interview because Ohio belongs to Chicago. So it depends on the jurisdiction. In New York, they don't want us to bring our own. They want their own. They don't trust us. It's too big a city.
Okay.
But in other cities, they want us to bring our own. So for the court, the answer is no. The court will provide their own interpreter. But be careful because we have a lot of clients who speak a different dialect because in Chinese we have Fuzhou, we have Mandarin, we have Cantonese. In the Latino language, there's a lot of indigenous language. So you need to make sure that the judge knows what language you speak. So they don't get a Spanish translator for someone who speaks Portuguese or who speaks indigenous.
So the next question is, what benefits do I get if my case is granted? Can I get a green card? Work authorization?
Good. There are two ways to get a grant. A grant is, in asylum we call it grant. So how do I win a asylum case? If you go to the district office interview and you get a grant after fingerprint, you could apply for green card after 1 year. USCIS district office have no authority to deny asylum. So once you have the interview, they will issue a referral notice and a notice to appear. With that, now we go to court. It depends on where the alien lives. Now we probably have 2 or 3 master calendar, and now we go to IH and hopefully we'll get a grant there.